It's a charming town. Oh, thank you. It's a charming town that has a lot more to offer than amazing events and scenery.
Well, let's check back in with Cody and the Caravan in Columbia, getting a closer look at the businesses there. Are you at a blacksmith shop?
I am.
Cool.
I'm hanging out with my buddy Chris here. So Chris told me this great story. Chris, when you were a kid, used to come down here. This is where you would hang out and everything. And then one day you were like, hey, can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I just asked for a job and they said, yeah, we'll put you to work. And then kind of been doing it on and off here and there, you know. I would come into the back of the shop and help out with some of the cleaning and polishing of the metal. And eventually I just started working here full time. And I've been here full time for the last 4 years. Yeah, it was just one of those things that when I was a kid, I loved being in this town. I still love being in this town, and I hope to bring growth to this town. It's a wonderful place to be.
I love it. You don't have to sell me, brother. I want to move here. Okay, turn on the forge, and while you're turning on the forge, I'll explain to them why it's not hot in here.
Yeah. Got our forge going. Basically, it is a coal-burning forge. And this forge gets up to 3,700 degrees.
3,700 degrees. Now, keep in mind, it has been hella hot this summer. Yesterday in San Francisco, I was at the game, 102 degrees at the game. But in here, it's not that hot.
Yeah, it is not. It is usually a couple of degrees cooler in here than it is outside. And it's because we have an open shop. It is not insulated. And the heat is designed to stay in one place inside of that forge. I figured we could also talk today a little bit about, let's start off with the origins of the word blacksmith and why we're called a blacksmith. Okay. So, smith is like an old Scandinavian term that meant like a builder or constructor. So we made things. We're called a blacksmith because we work with iron, and iron is a naturally black metal.
Okay.
Now, when people associate blacksmith, what do they associate it to? Horseshoes, right? This is probably the most common misconception there is. The people that made horseshoes were actually farriers. So in our time period, blacksmiths, we made tooling and building supplies, mostly for the miners, anything that could help them get the stuff out of the ground. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take an old horseshoe and recycle it, which is also something that the blacksmiths would do.
Okay, go for it, man.
Yeah.
Go for it. So that's one of the things about Columbia. These are real working places, but you also get these stories about the history and why all these things happen, and then you also get to shop and do the products and stuff. Where you at, man? We got 30 seconds left. Is it heating up?
It is heating up. If you got one last question or anything, I can answer a question for you. And
what do you love about this town so much? That's my question.
The people and the history, and we get people from all over the world, and I get to hear fantastic stories from them, and just it's a great place to be. The community is just such a tight-knit, wonderful community, and I love everyone in this place.
Fantastic, man. I got to wrap things up. Thank you for taking a little time.
My pleasure.
Seriously, so nice to meet you. Come on down to Columbia, meet Chris, meet all these fantastic people, because he's right. The people here are fascinating, and this whole place is so interesting, but it's a precious egg, and they're looking for more people to open up businesses here. If you've been inspired today, give the state parks a call, and they'll hook you up. All right, back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Cody.